Okay, now we're actually going to do a second part to the emergency alert from Android smartphone to social media. So what's actually going to happen is that, what we actually have now is the Bluetooth deck here connected to a circuit board. Of course, the battery will be here. And we actually also have our Android smartphone. Okay, so what's interesting is that we actually, this time around, we actually have this different PCB board that's actually connected to several magnetic reeds. If you actually watch our previous video, what we actually used was the pressure sensor. So this time around, we're actually using a second option, which is actually the magnetic reeds. Okay, if you take a look at the actual where the magnetic reeds are, it's actually inside this black tube. So this thing itself, this black object here where my finger is actually where this is actually our magnetic reed. We actually have 4 magnetic reeds inside this this metal tube. Okay, we'll actually be putting it inside this black tube itself for waterproofing purposes. Okay, so if you take a look at all this, this red tape itself is actually where our magnetic reeds are located. It's just an indication for where our magnetic reeds are. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Next, of course, we actually have our float. So how the float works is that if we were to take a closer look, okay, this is actually magnets, very strong magnets connected to the float. So when the magnet actually reaches the indicator itself, it will trigger off the magnetic reed to send voltage to our Bluetooth deck, which will subsequently send it over to our smartphone itself. The smartphone will read it and then you automatically tweet. So you take a look, yep, we actually have our Twitter account here ready. So you can see now, right now, no tweets have been sent out. Okay, so we'll begin our project. So we click on, this is actually the program that we're using. Okay, first things likewise, it asks us to input a contact number. So what happens is that if we actually reach a point where water level is actually high, it will automatically send out a SMS to the number that we key in. So we just key in the number. So now we'll start. Okay, we observe it closely. First thing they do is to read the GPS. Longitude and latitude will actually be sent out, and the current location, which is at Nanyang Drive. Okay, okay, our first reading is actually 2.5 volts, and okay, we will start. So you can take a look. Water will be poured in from the top slowly. So as the water actually increases, so let's say it's a flooding at Orchard Road. So the canal is actually flooded, rainwater comes in this way. You can see that the float is actually slowly but surely rising up towards our first water level mark. Okay, the reason is a lot slower than the other one because the previous one we're actually using a measuring cylinder, but this time around we're using actually a really huge pail. This pail itself will be able to control our first the length of the rod itself. So as you can see, the water level just reached the safe mode. So actually no flood is actually detected on a certain day, date, time. And if you take a look at this point here, it's actually the voltage of our magnetic reed. So the water increment level is actually 45 seconds. And if we take a look at our Twitter, all we need to do is just refresh it. Yep, reading is actually sent. If you take a look at this, actually the phone itself doesn't have any SMS because it's not at a dangerous level yet. So now we actually continue the increment of our water. As you can see, the water, despite the fast increase of water, our float doesn't actually jam, doesn't get stuck there, and is steadily rising towards our next water level. And right now, if you take a look, the water level is now low, flood detected at a certain point in time. Okay, likewise, this is the voltage. And Twitter update, water level low, no flood detected, as well as the rate of change of water. Okay, so now we actually go on to our next 2 levels. So the water level is increasing steadily. And if you take a look at our Android program itself, it actually shows the the water level is actually at medium and is rising at a certain time, as well as the new voltage. Okay, so now we actually take a look at our Twitter, refresh the Twitter page, and you can see water level is medium and it's actually rising at above medium level. The date, time, and the change in water level. Yeah. So now we're going to do our final increment. You see the pail is actually reaching its maximum level already. Okay, so now if you take a look at the water increment rate at the high level, actually it will actually start to read the GPS itself. Okay, will tell the location of the flood, and then it will post water level high, flood detected. Okay, GPS reading will actually be given. The address itself is actually over here. Now if you take a look at the Twitter page also, it will actually produce a Twitter of high water level and flood detected, the rate of change, the address. And now if you take a look at our phone itself, yes, our iPhone itself, see it will send out SMS that the flood is actually detected. So that actually concludes our project experimentation. One more thing, when the water level actually, when the canal actually starts to funnel off the water itself, right, the water level itself start to decrease. We won't actually be showing the video itself on it yet, but the idea is that as the water level decreases, the float itself will also start to go down, and as it goes down, different Twitter message will also be sent out signaling the water level. So that we actually can show you by pulling it out actually. So what will happen is that as the water starts to decrease, as the water level starts to decrease itself, we will hit different levels of marking. Okay, it's coming up. So we actually hit, let's say, the medium level, the medium and low level already. So if we look at our okay, it says water level is actually at medium as well as water level is at low. And now if we look at our Twitter itself, the medium water level is actually tweeted, date and time will be given, as well as the low water level. Okay, the reason why our tweets that actually we can actually send the same tweets over and over is because the change actually includes the seconds, as well as the water level, the change of water level. So we can spam as many different SMS tweeters as we want. So that more or less concludes our video recording for this magnetic read. Thank you.